Winona, do you have the link to the action plan copied and ready to put into the chat there? If not, if you could prep that, and we'll get that up there in just a minute as we get more people coming in.
I just entered in the link to the city's website, the NBD page, where our draft second annual action plan is displayed, and this is the plan that we'll be receiving comments on today for the CDBG, ESG, and home budgets for the program year starting May 1st, 2021 to April 30, 2022.
All right, Winona, it's 5 o'clock. Why don't you go ahead and start recording? And
we are recording.
We are recording. Excellent. Great. Winona's given the great introduction as to why you're all here. And Winona, I'm going to ask you in about 5 minutes to put that link in the chat again. As Winona said, it's the second annual action plan for program year 47. In layman's terms, that means this is the money that we're talking about for April 1st, May 1st, 2021 to April 30, 2022. And this is the entitlement dollars that come through HUD as a block grant form that we as a community get to decide where it's going to go. There is a minimum 30-day comment period where we are going beyond that this year. This is the final vote on this is expected to happen at the April 12 meeting of the Common Council. This Monday, March 29th, the Common Council will vote the measure that they have that they've put in front of themselves is to hold a Common Council public hearing on this coming up on April 8th. So you might want to put a hold on your calendars on that one if you want to participate in that meeting. But that will be formally announced once it is formally adopted. That's up and coming. So I just want to say, first of all, thank you to everybody that's here. So many of you that we see every year that provide us excellent feedback. And what I'm super excited about is there's people here that have not traditionally participated in these meetings. We have expanded our outreach, trying to make sure that we're hearing from as broad a range of people as possible. And one of the ways that we've done that virtually is when it's time for comment, what we're going to do is we're going to go through and make sure that each person has an opportunity to comment if you want, and if not, you can say no comment. We do ask that if you are going to comment, you state your name, you state who you're affiliated with, if you are with representing an organization, and if you're a city resident. Those are the three things that we're gonna ask of you. So this plan, Winona, if you could post it again in the chat, that is the direct link to it. It is also on the Syrgov.net, our government website. If you go to syrgov.net and under departments, choose neighborhood and business development, you'll see a link to the plan that way. Lastly, you can call or email our office and we will get you a physical copy of the plan if you're not able to access it electronically. We want this to be something that everyone has a chance to review and to provide feedback to us on. So a couple things. One is we put forth a 5-year action plan that says here's what our priorities are for the money that we have the ability to allocate. This money comes from HUD, and therefore comes with pretty strict rules around what we may or may not choose to invest it in as a community. And it comes from 3 different sources: the Community Development Block Grant, which you hear is referred to as CDBG, the Emergency Solutions Grant, otherwise known as ESG, and HOME, with 3 largely different priorities, all having to do with housing. So that being said, I want to recognize my team that's on here. That's put a tremendous amount of work into this. Winona Timmons oversees our CDBG grant and is our host for this evening. Diane Sherwood oversees our home grant, and Sue McMahon oversees our emergency solutions grant. And if she's not on at the moment, she was coming through something else and will be joining shortly. And then Maria Castro heads up the team. I'm going to take a quick look through our list of attendees, since you don't all fit on the same page. I see Deputy Commissioner Jen Tift, Deputy Commissioner of Neighborhood and Business Development with us. Jen, thanks for being here. And that is all the people that I am recognizing by name are here representing city government. So forgive me if I have missed someone on that.
And can we have everyone mute their phones, please? Thank you.
And Winona, if you could go ahead and also just go through the list and be able to hit mute for people. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna give everybody a chance. If you are on your phone and we go to unmute you and it doesn't work, *6 will also work for you on WebEx. Team, I'm gonna look to you guys to tell me, is there anything that I have missed in my introduction? I'm seeing heads shaking no, so it looks like I've covered all of the relevant material that I need to cover. We're recording this not just so that we can say that we did, but as I said, we value this feedback, and we turn around and we provide this feedback to HUD. So HUD's going to get a link to this. So your comments are heard from us, but then also received by the federal government as well. So that is there for all of us. All right. So that said, I'm now going to start heading through the list. I will do it. I hate doing it alphabetically from the top because I feel that everybody, you know what, mine's not always acting alphabetically here. But as people join, I might miss out otherwise. So what we're going to do is I'm going to call on you. Please unmute yourself. If you struggle with that, Winona will unmute you. And again, if you have comment, please say your name, who you're affiliated with, if that is the case, and if you are a city resident. And if you have no comment, that's fine too. So I have an Amanda that I do not have a last name for, but it's the only Amanda on the list. So Amanda, I'm going to start with you, and then after you, I'm going to go to Andrea. Amanda, do you have a comment?
No, if you're referring to me, no, I don't. Thank you very much.
I am referring to you. So thanks for letting us know. All right. So Andrea Wandersee. Oh, I should also add, as we go through this, you are more than welcome, and we invite you to provide written comment that can be sent in via email to our home address, the NBD at syrgov.net. Excuse me. Yes, I'm talking too fast. .net, or mailed into our office, and the address is going to be on the website. Okay, thanks, Andrea. To you, and then to Brian Fay.
City staff who've worked on this project and who support all of the agencies that are here on the call today. My name is Andrea Wandersee. I'm the executive director of Needa, the Northeast Holly Development Association. We are located on the north side, And I am a city resident. I live in Eastwood. I'm really proud of the work that Needa does and really all of our agencies. It's been adapting, pivoting, and changing how we do things, and make sure individuals, families, and businesses that have been impacted so severely this past year. So housing stability is Needa's top priority. We've been focused on housing counseling and to ensure that families find and maintain quality, affordable housing. During the COVID crisis, we've changed how we do things. We've been trying to have more electronic and remote opportunities for people to connect with us. Know our families are suffering. We've been trying to look at all the North Side Housing Task Force, which is equal to staff, other nonprofit service providers like Center for Court Innovation and Hope Print, and city staff to help us provide more effective services. Our second focus is technical assistance to small businesses. Needa's invested, thanks in part to the support the city gives us, in a small business facilitator, which is a dedicated staff person who's there to work with our lower income small business owners and make sure they are successful and have the tools that they need on their business that we just received from the city for Northside Business Corridor marketing support. We're so excited about this initiative and hope that we'll be able to touch over 100 businesses with that investment. Lastly, I'd just like to say, of course, none of us work in a vacuum, and I'm so grateful for the other agencies, home headquarters, one of the financial empowerment centers. There's no way we would have been as effective in this past year without our community partners and the community. Thanks for all the work you guys are doing and the work you do to help us serve the North Side.
Thank you, Andrea. So a couple housekeeping things going forward. One, if you could check if you're on mute, there's someone typing that is coming through. Two, if you find yourself having connectivity issues, go ahead and if you turn off your video, that will often solve the problem. And three, Andrea, something that I forgot to state at the beginning, which is that we try to keep comments to 3 minutes, knowing that there's absolutely the ability to add written comment later, but we want to make sure that people, everybody's got a chance to do this, and we don't carry on until tomorrow with it. So Andrea, thanks for doing that without even me remembering to say that at the beginning. So Brian, we're going to head to you, and then we've got someone on the phone that simply says calling user 4. So I'm going to try to identify that person after you.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna, rather than filibuster until the morning, I'm gonna read what I've written so somebody can get some sleep tonight. So thank you. My name is Brian Fay. I'm the Executive Director of Syracuse Northeast Community Center. I'm a city resident on the East Side, and thank you for this opportunity. Cdbg funding represents 34% of the total SNC funding. Basic needs, a pantry, diaper bank, youth and senior services are funded directly through Cdbg and complemented by our supported employment, neighborhood advisor, and health connections and other programs to provide comprehensive and holistic support that engages, grows, and connects our neighbors. Through Cdbg funding, we build family wealth and self-sufficiency to create a more vibrant and resilient neighborhood on the north and northeast sides of Syracuse. At SNCC, we are in our 43rd year of service to the city's low and extremely low income residents. And through continued CDBG funding and tremendous support from the Syracuse Department of Neighborhood and Business Development, this year we'll serve over 1,000 youth, more than 750 adults, and just shy of 150 seniors. We're very grateful for CDBG's funding and for all the support that you give us. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Brian. And we are now heading to, so is there someone that has called in that has not had a chance to type in their name? So Dallas, I see you talking, but I don't hear you, so it's not you. Anybody else on the phone?
Yeah, Michael.
That sounds like Kathy Deaver.
Yeah, I'm glad you can hear me. Yes, it is. I do not have a microphone, so I'm watching you, but I'm on the phone. My name is Kathy Deaver. I'm with the Syracuse Northeast Community Center. I was a city resident for well over 45 years, but am now living in East Syracuse. And as for the Northeast Community Center and the support that we provide to our neighbors and what CDBG helps us to do, Brian said it all.
Kathy, thanks so much. So Dallas, we're going to head to you next. So we have identified, and so we're going to give you a second to see if you can get yourself off of mute and talk, and it looks like you have. And then after Dallas, we will be heading to Joan Royal. So Dallas, go ahead.
Sure. Hello. Can you hear me first?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. Yeah, so I'm Dallas, and I am the previously mentioned small business advisor, small business facilitator at Needa. And I don't have any particular comments. I just wanted to stay in the loop and make sure I know as much as I can about CDBG and all the other great programs.
Thanks, Dallas. So Joan, we're going to head to you, and
Okay.
after you, we're going to John Tomino.
Okay, hi everybody. My name is Joan Royal. I'm the Executive Director of the Westcott Community Center. I do not live in the city of Syracuse. I live in the village of Liverpool. I want to thank your team, you, Michael, and your team, especially Winona, who helps us whenever we get confused or if there's any issues that we need to resolve. So I really appreciate that support. So CDBG funding is critical to the programs and support, programs and services that Westcott Community Center provides our neighborhood on the east side of the city of Syracuse every day of the week. It also helps us leverage other funding sources, which is really critical to the work we do. Primarily, CDBG funding is utilized for our older adult services. We support approximately 600 older adults through a variety of comprehensive programs and services. This year was an interesting year, to say the least, for everyone. We were able to quickly adapt to a reverse model of service for our older adults, which include delivering pantry items, essentials, adult disposable undergarments, craft supplies, meals. And we deliver 4 to 5 days a week, every week, to older adults. We also have meals to go that folks can come in and pick up. We know that this year, older adults in our community have suffered greatly through loss of socialization and being isolated. And we're working hard to make sure we support them in every way we possibly can. We also utilize CDBG funds for our basic needs pantry, and this year we saw our pantry distributions double. So that has been really critical, that the support that this funding has given to us for that. It also helps support our some of our employment services, our building costs, and other services in our center that are critical just to the entire neighborhood. We very much appreciate CDBG support, and we are hoping that with this year's funding, we will be able to open our doors back up, see folks back in our center, and utilize these funds in the best way we possibly can. Thanks.
Thanks, Joan.
Yep.
So, John, we're heading to you next, and after you, we're going to be heading down to Carrie Quaglia.
Hey everyone, how are you? I'm John Tomino, Executive Director of In My Father's Kitchen, Street Outreach in Syracuse. And I am a city resident. I'm actually at home right now on the north side of Syracuse. Proud North Sider, the last 27 years, grew up in Syracuse my whole life. So Syracuse is in my blood, it's in my heart. Michael, I want to just thank you and your team, especially Sue McMahon, for being there for us every time we need to ask any kind of technical questions or need assistance with cutting red tape and bureaucracy. Sometimes you guys are always there to step up to the plate to assist us in making sure that we do the work that we do effectively for our homeless friends that are living out in the streets of Syracuse, New York. So I just wanted to say, I noticed that we got a little bit of an increase this year, so we greatly appreciate that. I guess I want to just touch base quickly on navigating COVID for us this year as an outreach provider. Was a little bit challenging when agencies weren't able to do face-to-face interviews with clients. We had to do a lot of the out-of-the-box doing these kinds of things with our folks outdoors, using our technology that we have to be able to get them connected, whether it was the DSS or providers that could assist them. As we're coming to a close of the last year's grant, we're ahead of the game in regards to all of our goal expectations. So we're so excited about going forward into this new year with a little bit of an extra boost and some money, thinking that we're going to be able to do greater things in this up and coming year. So I just want to say thank you to all of you guys in the city of Syracuse, and thank you for believing in all of our programs to be able to help us do the things that we do in our community. So thank you.
I'll check it out.
John, thank you. We've got somebody that's got an open microphone. So I know that Winona right now is searching for that, but if you could take a look and see if you might have one, that would be appreciated. So Carrie, we're heading to you, and after you, we're going to head to Christian Peterson. Winona, why don't you, can you see if you can unmute Carrie? Because Carrie is trying valiantly to be able to be heard. Carrie, so here's what we'll do. Kristen, I'm gonna come to you next. Carrie, you keep working on that. And we're gonna find a way to get it so you can say what you would like to share. So Kristen, we're heading to you.
Hi, I'm the Program Officer of Homeless Services at Catholic Charities of Onondaga County. So I recently just got involved with the Cdbg and ESG funding. And you know, the one thing that I can say is we just need the continued support of Cdbg in our community to continue to serve those that are facing housing instabilities and homeless individuals. So we provide housing case management for all those families. So.
Thank you, Christian. Carrie, we're going to give you another try, and as we're working through that, Linda Guerin, you're going to be up after we've got Carrie sorted.
Really weird. It won't let me unmute Carrie for some reason. I don't think WebEx wants to hear what Carrie has to say.
So Carrie, let's do this. We're gonna you're not one to be silenced. So we're gonna make sure that we have an opportunity to figure this out. If we don't, may we get a written statement from you? Would that be suitable if we can't figure out the? Oh, hey, you're undone. Say something.
All of a sudden, you can hear me? Okay.
We can hear you now, sir.
Wow.
Yeah, I had to unmute everyone. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but
we'll see. All right. So Carrie and then Linda, I promise you're next.
I'm honored to be heard, so thank you. I'm Carrie Quaglia, CEO of Home Headquarters, located at 538 Erie Boulevard West. And we are extremely happy to be in the plan. We've been funded for many, many years for home improvement and the SHARP program. And we've seen just absolutely tremendous demand for that, for those programs. I think never before really, with the pandemic, we had 3 months where rehab work essentially couldn't take place. And we still had so much demand that we've just about spent all the dollars that we had committed for home improvement in Sharp. We have a little Sharp kickoff with Rich at Sun and Needa to figure out, assuming we get some Sharp money, how we might deploy it, and the demand is overwhelming. We're also in the plan for some down payment and closing cost assistance, which helps create first-time home buyers in the city of Syracuse, which is great. And then also some housing counseling, and we know that housing counseling is going to explode as soon as all the moratoriums on evictions and foreclosures are lifted. And then finally, this year we are trying to help out Syracuse Model Neighborhood Corporation a bit, and we see that we were selected to be the financial fiduciary for SMNC. So you add it all up, and we're very thankful, and certainly thank you, Michael, and your entire staff for all the support you give us during the course of the year.
Gary, thanks for sticking with us as we struggled with that. So Linda, we're coming to you, and after you, we're going to be going to London Jones.
All right, can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right. Thank you, Michael and Sue McMahon, especially in this tough year of COVID-19 conditions, helping us to see creative ways to help people prevent homelessness. And I'll talk a little bit about that in this few minutes that we have. I have submitted a written statement with more detail, and let me just summarize for you. Again, we're very grateful for the funding in the Emergency Solutions Grant Program. The Hiscox Legal Aid Society has been involved in this program for many, many years, and I myself going into my 5th year as the executive director of the Hiscox Legal Aid Society. We work closely with many community partners, and only to name a few, those legal partners of ours being the Volunteer Lawyers Project and Legal Services Corporation of Central New York, Legal Services of Central New York. Together, we work to ensure, to the extent possible, that anyone who's facing homelessness will not do that without the assistance of counsel. And through that, I believe we have achieved what would be called civil Gideon. That means right to counsel in Central New York. So that's something we're very proud of. In the meantime, during COVID-19, we've been able to, in addition to helping hundreds of people just at Hiscox Legal Aid alone to prevent homelessness and evictions, we try to get at illegal lockouts, so filing paperwork to ensure that even though there is a moratorium on evictions, that people are not illegally locked out without being able to access court. And also helping over 400 people to obtain their unemployment benefits during the pandemic so that they can maintain their housing. Without the ESG funding, we would not be able to have one full-time attorney down in Syracuse City Court full-time and also on staff back at the office 24/7, taking calls and helping people any way we can to avoid homelessness. So we thank you so much for the funding, and we're here to answer any of your questions as we hopefully move out of pandemic conditions and begin to help people back down in court again. Thanks so much.
Linda, thanks so much. We are going to move on to London. London, before we do, I just want to point out to everybody that within the chat function, and just in case you can't see it, I'm going to read it out loud. We've got Winona has posted that if you want to submit any written statements, you can send them to nbd@syrgov.net or straight to Winona at WTIMMONS. That's wtimmons@syrgov.net. And the comment will open through April 8th. So Linda, thanks for your comments. London, we're heading to you, and after you, we're going to be going to Marwa Al-Abadi.
Hi, everybody. My name is London Jones, and I am the site supervisor at the Welch Terrace Apartments. I just started there in December, so I'm coming in on the other side of the pandemic. But I can say that I know that, and also thank you, Winona, for helping me so much with this paper. I'm sorry, I'm a dog.
Additional commentary is accepted. That's fine, Linda.
Yes, thank you very much for everything that you do for our little community. And we've been able to help people stay out of isolation with the help of our service coordinator with those funds, and it's greatly appreciated. And thank you so much for your patience. Thank you.
Thank you, London. I think that technically we can only count that as comment coming from one person, but if you're able to translate what your dog said, we'll take it. Marwa, heading on to you, and then going to Mary Trainer.
Thank you, Michael. Hi, everyone. My name is Marwa Al-Abadi. I am the Associate Director of Resettlement Services at Interfaith Work Center for New Americans. We are located at 1010 James Street, and I am a city resident. I want to thank you for the support we have received to assist our clients experience a crisis due to cultural and language barriers. The Cdbg and ESG funding has been critical to maintaining housing stabilities for our refugees. Our agency has been able to extend the program numbers each year because of the high need for this program. We argue the city to continue to support these services to residents of the city. New Americans being housing stable contributes to neighborhood stability and is good for our city. Thank you.
Thank you, Marwa. So Mary Trainer, we're heading to you, and then after you, we're going to be going to Mike LaFleur.
Hi, I'm Mary Trainer. I'm here with the Syracuse Tenants Union and Legal Services of Central New York, and I'm just observing the hearing as a member of the public.
Mary, glad you're here. Appreciate it. So Mike, we're heading to you, and then Renette Relaford after you.
Great. Thanks, Michael. Hello, everybody. Mike LaFleur, Director of Community and Government Relations at Housing Visions. I am not a city resident. I just wanted to thank everybody, Mike and your team, for the hard work you guys do, and everybody else on the call too, and just let my support whatever assistance those folks that you have done. That's pretty much it. I would be remiss if I didn't congratulate Rich Polchowski on joining the 21st century and doing a Zoom call. So, Rich, it's good to see you, but you definitely, I won't say it. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Mike.
Good afternoon. Sorry.
No, Renette, absolutely. Go ahead. I just want to, I want to give somebody, I try to make sure everybody knows who's on deck so that they're ready. So, Renette, after you, it's going to be Robert Sikowski. So, Renette, please, floor is yours.
Hi, I am Renette Relaford. I'm the administrator for the Citizens Review Board for the City of Syracuse. And I'm also on the executive board for the Volunteer Lawyers Project. The reason why I attend this meeting is because many people come into our office and they have a multitude of issues that are going on. And it's always good for me to understand what programs I can provide them resources to and to gain an understanding of what's going on in the community. And again, being on the Volunteer Lawyers Project board, it is essential for me to understand those things as well. So I'm here listening to learn more about what's going on and the funding sources that are out there for people when they are in need. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks, Renette. Robert, we're heading to you. After you, we're going to Sally Curran.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thanks. I don't have a camera on my computer, so I'm operating in the dark a little bit. Thanks for the opportunity. I'm with Bob Sikowski, Empire Housing Development Corporation. We're a not-for-profit housing agency that develops affordable housing in the city of Syracuse. We were very disappointed and disheartened to see that in the budget we were recommended for a 27% cut, I think, this year, especially when you see everyone else the budget virtually was held harmless, or in a couple cases got some additional funds, which is great. We don't any qualms about that, but we don't understand why we're recommended for a cut. Over 25 years, we partnered with the city of Syracuse and other not-for-profits in town. We've completed over 530 projects, home ownership projects. And during the pandemic, we're on track to meet our goals, housing production goals. And in the coming year, we've proposed to do even more. We also bring in money through our efforts that directly benefits homeowners in the city of Syracuse. We secured over $1 million in 2 Affordable Housing Corporation grants. One grant went for land bank homes. Another went for our ongoing Syracuse Purchase Rehab program, actually $1.2 million. And then those funds also leverage other dollars. And, you know, in the application, it said that we should leverage at least, I think, 25% for every dollar. We leverage $40 for every dollar. So we leverage, we produce. We've been, you know, good partners with the city for a long time. And we don't understand why we're recommending for a cut. And our board president wrote a letter to the new commissioner, the mayor, the common council, requesting that this be looked at and give consideration to at least restoring the funds that were cut from our budget. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Sally, we're going to head to you. And Rich, I'm coming to you under Sun, because you got yourself in here under Sun, Rich Polchowski. So as I'm heading out of the R's, I didn't want you to think that we're forgetting you. But you're coming up. So Sally Kern, we're heading to you, and then to Sally Santangelo.
All right, great. It's not often I get to be Sally 1. So hello all, I am Sally Kern. I'm the Executive Director of the Volunteer Lawyers Project of Onondaga County. And please forgive me, I have a small resident of Syracuse sitting here beside me. So if there's background noise, that's what that is. Our mission is to provide access to justice through engaging the legal community and volunteer service to those in need. And I'm here tonight to thank NBD for our allocation in year 47 and to thank your team, especially Sue McMahon, for all of the support that she provides. The funding that we receive, we use to support our eviction prevention work. And we prevent eviction in our community by providing eviction defense every single day that Syracuse Landlord Tenant Court is open. Now, 2020 has been an incredibly challenging year, especially for tenants who cannot afford to pay their rent due to COVID-related hardships. In the past year, we adapted our services to ensure that we are present to help tenants appearing for court virtually when it's been open. But even with court closed, we've ensured that tenants are able to get the advice that they need about their rights, especially how to address serious housing concerns and landlord harassment during this time when court has been closed. We also have provided education regarding tenants' rights to thousands of community members in this past year. With the support of this ESG funding, we will continue to ensure that tenants have access to an attorney every single day that court is hearing cases, whether virtually or in person. And I also want to recognize that there's been an increase in the allocation to Hiscox Legal Aid Society, which we strongly support. They're a key partner in working to ensure that all tenants have access to attorneys in court. And I'll say that we see time and time again in court the way that tenants' rights are ignored or pushed aside when tenants do not have legal representation. We firmly believe that safe and affordable housing should be a fundamental right, and our attorneys ensure that tenants have full protection of the law when it comes to their housing. So it's really critical that we do reach that point where we are able to represent 100% of tenants that come to court. We're very, very close to it, as Linda indicated, but there's still too many tenants who do not come to court and therefore their rights are not being protected. So this year, we're really making a big push to reach out to tenants, and we really want to thank all of our partners here who help with that effort, the Tenants Union, the Tenants Network, and so many others. I could go through the entire list of faces here. So thank you so much to the community for your support in helping to end homelessness and to prevent eviction. And thank you for your continued support, NBD, with this financial support. Thank you.
Thank you, Sally. Moving on to our next Sally, and I would never say Sally number 2. I'll let the two of you figure that part out. But Sally Santangelo, and after you, we're heading to Shannon.
Order of Sally's all worked out.
So Sally, can you, I see that you're off mute, but we're not fully able to hear you. Not yet, no.
I'm going to call in if you can.
Okay, yeah, so I hear you saying you're going to call in, so we're going to come back to you. So we're going to give you a couple people. So I'm going to do Shannon, and then Sharon Sherman will go to you, and then we'll come back to Sally Santangelo. So she's not having to rush through the digits there. So Shannon, you're next.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
We can.
Okay. Hi, I'm Shannon Cunningham. I'm the Program and Fiscal Coordinator for Covenant Housing Corporation of Central New York, where office is located on Teal Ave. Just wanted to say we are very thankful for continued support from the Department of Neighborhood and Business Development. Having the support in 2020 helped maintain operations without interruption, even during the pandemic. It was a very challenging year, but not without successes. With your help, we continued management of 40 units of affordable rental housing for low-income individuals and families with special needs. We did not lose a single tenant in 2020. Some struggled, but we were able to support them throughout the past year, and they have now begun to recover. We have started redevelopment of an accessible single-family home in Eastwood. We began pre-development on 2 other properties in the city, and we started a new environmental modification and assistive technology project for a child with special needs and their family in the Valley. We are grateful to be included in the upcoming program year and wanted to say thank you very much.
Thanks, Shannon. So Sharon Sherman, we're gonna head to you, and then Sally, we're gonna try it again after that.
Hi, I'm Sharon Sherman, Executive Director of the Greater Syracuse Tenants Network. First, I want to apologize because I usually, for, I don't know, 30 years, I read the whole document, but I have been just terribly, tragically overwhelmed by the situation at Skyline, spending my days talking to the tenants, the agencies, the reporters, the family of Connie, and it's just really a tragedy. I appreciate everything the city has been doing, and so let's go on. I also want to thank Winona and Sue McMahon for all the help, especially Sue walking me through a lot of crazy situations. The one thing I did notice looking at the civic participation, and something I noticed as a member of TNT, I think NBD could do more to involve the TNT sectors in the civic engagement. I know you have the notices sent out through the TNT email listserv, but I think at one time, which might have gone too far, they were making presentations about the different agencies funded by Cdbg that worked in sectors. But just if you can come up with some way to maybe systematically once a year come talk about Cdbg and NBD, I think it would be helpful in engaging. This year has been, I have some notes over here. This year has been incredibly challenging for the tenant network. We have not been able to have tenant meetings at any of the buildings. Every community room is closed, and efforts to engage even the boards of the different tenant associations virtually has really shown the issue of the digital divide in our community. Tenants don't have Wi-Fi, they don't have computers, they don't have computers with cameras. And it's just a real challenge. And we're working in several of the buildings to say, when you open, how about getting public Wi-Fi in your community rooms? And in addition, we'd like to see, I know the city's working on public Wi-Fi through that big project. And I hope that they'll be outreaching to low-income communities, because I think it's actually something that should be addressed to some extent in the plan of acknowledgement and how the digital divide affects the ability of the agencies, even after COVID, to, outreach to people and conduct their business without that tool. Of course, my phone hasn't rung the whole time. And now it rings. Okay, I think basically, at this point, we received the same as last year, and we're fine with that. I can't even think about what to be doing at this point, in terms of thinking in advance. So appreciate it. We want to support, of course, Hiscox Legal Aid, VLP, and Fair Housing. Those are the agencies we work hand in hand with. I wasn't able to check, but I encourage the city to continue the innovative eviction prevention program that they have been doing with Catholic Charities. I know the
Sharon,
effort.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but we hit the time. If you could wrap up in the next few seconds,
Okay.
that'd be awesome.
I know
please feel free to submit written.
I know that the project at Conifer Properties was disrupted this year by COVID. So hopefully you continue that program at Conifer and move on to other buildings. And that's it. Thanks.
Sharon, thanks so much. And yes, and please, anything else that you want to add, do submit it in writing. We always appreciate that. So thanks, Sharon. All right, so Sally Santangelo, let's give you a shot, and then Rich, we're heading to you after that.
Okay, can you hear me better now?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Thank you, Michael, and thank you to the staff who administers these programs. We are CNY Fair. I'm the executive director of CNY Fair Housing. We work to investigate housing discrimination and promote housing opportunity. And we provide a lot of counseling and advocacy for individuals whose fair housing rights are being violated, and legal representation to victims of discrimination, and also provide education and outreach on fair housing rights and responsibilities. And we're grateful for the city's support of our program. Cdbg funding is an essential part of our program and allows us to continue to provide services in the community, and helps us leverage federal funding for fair housing services as an important matching source of funds. We serve 17 counties of central and upstate New York, but usually about 30 to 40% of our cases are actually in the city of Syracuse from city of Syracuse residents. So the bulk of our work is being done in the city. And, in particular, we are frustrated by the continued and horrified by the continued housing issues that are plaguing our community, and particularly those with the highest housing needs, and those protected by fair housing laws, who are also often subjected to the worst housing conditions. But we're proud of the work also that we do to hold landlords accountable, which sometimes requires taking legal action against them. This past year, we've settled a number of cases of disability discrimination on behalf of City of Syracuse residents, where we provided them legal representation and investigated their complaints, resulting in tens of thousands of dollars in settlements funds for those individuals, some of which were people being denied housing because of mental illness, and then when they're denied that housing, are often subjected to worse housing conditions. We all obviously have a lot more work to do, and we continue to, we look forward to working with all of our many partners here in continuing that work in terms of addressing both the individuals as well as the systemic problems that we continue to face. So thank you again, and we look forward to continuing the partnership with you all.
Thank you, Sally. So Rich, before you get started, I'm just going to say, but go ahead and take yourself off of mute there so you're ready. Walt Dixie follows Rich, and it appears as if Walt is the last person on our list. If I have missed you, then please put a note in the comment so that we're able to make sure that you do have a chance to speak. So Rich, you're up, and then Walt. Rich, you are on mute at the moment. Winona, are you able to unmute Rich for him?
Am I on?
Oh, Rich, we got you now. Perfect. Yes, you are on.
So, Rich Pachowski, Executive Director, Syracuse United Neighbors, son. Been around 43 years, active on the city's south, southwest, near west side membership advocacy organization. And I will show you my empty wallet. My organization has never received Community Development Block Grant Funding, or ESG, to stay afloat and fight the issues in our neighborhoods. One, we're happy to support home headquarters funding for sharp and urgent care. You know, small repairs are needed before they get larger. We've seen people without furnaces dead middle of winter. We've seen people with broken sewer lines, especially on the near west side, roofs leaking, and that's where that funding goes. We get the calls and we work with home headquarters in the application and move it along. I want to express my concern about overdoses going on. While I was here a couple minutes ago, I got a call once again. Somebody overdosed at 201 Hoffler. We've heard stories of medical examiners showing up at 615 West Onondaga and suicides and that kind of thing. That's been on an upswing. And Winona, we need to have another conversation. I'm not happy and my members are not happy. The other thing is we want to see the federal government step up with the new administration, President Biden, and take a thorough look at community development block grant funding that has dwindled to virtually nothing, can't keep up with the needs and the deterioration, the vacant houses in our low-income neighborhoods throughout the city. Those are my thoughts. And I didn't get a call this year from Ben Wall saying, how come you're not on these WebEx meetings? Thank the Lord for Sherman, who got me up to par. And so you're going to hear my voice thunder across City Hall.
Thanks, Rich. Appreciate the comments. Walt, heading to you. And again, I've not had anybody else in the show anything in the chat. So at the moment, it appears as if Walt will be our last speaker. Walt, it looks like you are off of mute, but we're not hearing you at the moment.
I don't know what happened.
Oh, we got you. You're good now.
Hello?
Yep, you're good, Walt. Go for it.
Hello?
Walt, you're good. No, you.
Hello?
Yep. Let's go ahead and talk.
Is it mute?
No, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Can you hear me? I'm gonna talk. You can hear me? I can't hear
yes.
you. Thank you. This is Walt Dixie from Executive Director Jubilee Homes in Syracuse. I can't hear you, but I read your lips, so I'm gonna talk for now. First, I want to thank you guys once again and your staff for showing support in our organization and our mission, even though our missions continue to evolve, and that we will be getting to some of the housing development as well as still working on our commercial projects and our unique partnership with the Land Bank and Housing Vision. I'm excited about those collaboration partnerships that we'll be dealing with, and also continue to do our virtual seminars, that'd be home maintenance or job fairs, et cetera, and working with your team, Commissioner Collins. But I also want to give 2 shout outs. We do, in this pandemic, we are having a partnership with Lyft. So we are able to give up to 80 to 100 rides for the next 2 months. So anybody that needs a ride to get to a vaccination shot, we can provide free round trip services. And 2, through the Gifford, the Community Foundation, the Gifford Foundation, we're now providing rides to doctor appointments, to the grocery store, et cetera, et cetera. We're doing those projects as well because those are needs and there's no cost for that, even with driving people to work as well. So thank you guys for continuing to support our organization. And on that concludes my story.
We got you, Rich. I'm sorry, Walt, my mistake. Okay, so this concludes the meeting. I
can't
want
hear
to
you
end
guys,
myself
that's
by
okay. I don't know why.
I want to take a moment and recognize my staff in the way that so many of you had. Jen, Tift, and I are beyond fortunate to be able to work with Loretta and Winona and Diane and Sue, and you guys all have known for such a long time the work that they do to empower you to do the work that you do. So thanks for all that you do, and thanks to our team at NBD. This meeting is officially closed. Go have a wonderful evening. Thank you.